Blessings, beloveds. Welcome to the frequency of bliss. I am Astarius Miraculi, and today I bring the message of attitudes are more important than circumstances. In a moment, I'll share with you a poem that I wrote that bears that title, and I was blessed and honored to live the reality of this principle for a great many years before I wrote this poem. And I feel that this is the key to addressing some of the adversities of life that we face. So, hear ye, O seeker, play not a game of chance, maintain a lofty attitude to conquer lowly circumstance. Some circumstances seem so bad, though goodness in disguise. It's up to us to see the good or else be victimized. For if a circumstance seems down and we reject it with a frown, that circumstance is then compelled to pull us down in mental hell. But if we keep our mind on high, despite the pain of circumstance, up with our attitude, the circumstance rises, and beyond its pain we then advance. Bitter circumstance is as a medicine to bring the wellness of a learned lesson. But we must swallow this medicine down to receive the healing and achieve the blessing. For if we spit this medicine out, life gives another dose without a doubt. Then we become victim of circumstance, a tyrant from which we can't advance until we learn to face it with a smile. Drink that bitter cup and go the extra mile so that all things may be enhanced because your attitude is more important than circumstance. And this is a very powerful thing to remember, beloved, is that the attitude is so much more important than circumstance. Hear ye, O seeker, play not a game of chance. Maintain a lofty attitude to conquer lowly circumstance. If you maintain a lofty attitude, the lowly circumstance will rise up with you. And there are circumstances that seem to be really, really bad, and yet they are really goodness in disguise. And yet, it is up to us to see the good, or we will truly be victimized. As I said, if a circumstance seems down and we reject it with a frown, then that circumstance is then compelled to pull us down in mental hell. So when we're in resistance and we fight against the difficulties of life, those difficulties become even more powerful than they were in the first place. But if we keep our mind on high, despite the pain of circumstance, then up with our attitude, the circumstance rises, and beyond its pain, we then advance, because we are, by keeping our mind on high, we're not allowing our attention to be locked onto that painful or despairing situation that may be there. Because in keeping our mind on high, we are understanding that everything is meant to be servant unto us and not master over us. And that bitter circumstances really are as a medicine. Some medicines are bitter, some medicines are sweet, some medicines are tasteless. And when it comes to the difficult circumstances of life, that's a very bitter medicine. And yet the challenging circumstances are also meant to facilitate the healing process. But if we spit this medicine out, life gives another dose, without a doubt. And so we want to learn to swallow the bitter medicine of challenging circumstances with the understanding that even when we seem to be knocked down, that we'll ultimately get up stronger than we were before we went down. Until we learn to face it with a smile and we drink that bitter cup to go the extra mile. When we smile upon the disasters of life and smile upon the difficulties of life, in the smiling upon those things, they become enhanced. They become something more beautiful. They become something that gives greater empowerment unto us. Because once we become liberated from a difficult situation, the joy that we experience is even greater than it would have been had we not faced that difficulty. When we get knocked down, we discover how much get-up power we have. So keep that in mind, beloved. Attitudes are more important than circumstances. And I have a book entitled Miraculi, Song of Ascension, which that poem is included in, and a great many others, as well as Ascension Wisdom. And I invite you to get a copy. I have hard copies available, and very soon we'll have downloads available on my site. I am Astarius Miraculi, and I champion your empowerment and your ascension. My website is astarius.com, astarius.com. I also have a number of CDs that you might be interested in getting, and I'm a psychic astrologer, and I do healings via Reiki and sound healings, didgeridoo healings, and all of that. You can find all that you need at my website. If you want to reach me directly, possibly for a one-on-one session, you can find a number by which you can do that at my site, astarius.com, astarius.com. Aho, Ashe, Amen, Namaste, Hotep, In Lakesh, Alakim, Shalom, Satnam, Hariom.